right, good morning, KPFK listeners, and welcome to Healthcare for Us. I'm your host, Erika Feresten. Sadly, I'm hosting alone today. Co-host Gina Viola is out sick today, but together we co-chair Healthcare for Us, a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization working to guarantee healthcare as a human right and fighting the larger fight for healthcare justice. Our program delivers the latest on healthcare policy and reveals that America's medical insurance system isn't broken. It's working as designed to be costly and deadly. The solution is a single-payer healthcare system that saves lives and money. So before we dive in, just want to give you a quick reminder that the views expressed on this program are solely those of myself and our guest, and they do not necessarily reflect those of KPFK or the Pacifica Foundation. So let's get started with our single payer definition. Single payer is publicly funded and privately delivered healthcare. That's it. It's that simple. You go to any doctor you want, anytime you want, anywhere you want, and the government pays the bill. And it's not just medical doctor, it's your dentist, it's therapist, psychiatrist, whatever you need to be physically, mentally, emotionally healthy, it's paid for. So today, I am so excited because we are talking with Tommy Letchworth, also known as Smiley T of the Tall Trees. And you may have heard him. You definitely heard him if you listen to our show, because his song, Single Payer, is our show's theme song, which we start every show with and end every show with. So before I bring Tommy Smiley on, why don't we go ahead and listen to the full song?
And think critically. Healthcare, y'all, it should be free. We're talking about services essential, the care you need, whether it's mental or dental. We all get sick, but only a few at a time. So when we all chip in, we know we'll all be fine. It's called Pareto's Principle, the law of 80-20. It's like we're invincible because we know that they're ready to take us in and get us some help. Yeah, whatever you need, don't worry about the cost. We know you got mouths to feed. You got cysts, acne, dermatitis, maybe issues with your joints like osteoarthritis. Maybe you got diabetes or heart disease, issues with your back or problems with your knees. Maybe you got Alzheimer's, maybe you got cancer. Issues with addiction, you'll still get the same answer. What? No, people don't go bankrupt from medical bills in this country anymore. We take care of you, and then we send you on your way. I like it. I love it too. Single payer healthcare is coming through. I said I like it. I love it too. 'Cause we're all covered. Yes, me and you. Over $400 billion a year saved, man, it feels pretty good. And I stand here amazed, all of it coming from administrative waste. It's the good life, people, and we all get a taste. It's amazing. Now we can focus on prevention rather than waiting till the very last second. We're elevating. Yes, it's a national ascension. Got hypertension? Go get some medical attention for free. or darn close to it. They didn't want to do it because they know that we prove that it works. Yes, it does. It's all factual, actual data. It's real as a broken clavicle, maternity, primary, reproductive, a hospital. Whatever you need will overcome any obstacle. You might ask, is it real? Is it legit? Hell yeah, yo. Because single pay is the
Oh my goodness. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to Healthcare for Us on 90.7 FM KPFK Los Angeles, also streaming at kpfk.org. And that was Single Payer by Smiley T and the Tall Trees. Smiley T, the real Smiley T, is Tommy Letchworth, who I have here today in the studio. Tommy is a musician, entertainer, and the creative force behind the stage name Smiley T. Blending violin, hip hop, and songwriting, Tommy brings a unique sound and voice to the stage. And as the front person of the Tall Trees, a 7-piece live hip hop band, Smiley T is known for music that speaks to political issues, social justice, and the power of mindset. Whether addressing current events or personal growth, Tommy's work is rooted in authenticity and passion. Welcome, Tommy, to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, we're so happy to have you here. I got to tell you, before I'm going to ask you some questions, I want to tell you that it's my co-host on this show, Gina Viola, who found your song on YouTube when we were just, dreaming up this show, had the opportunity to do this show on KPFK. And we were like, we need a theme song. And Gina found it on YouTube and she said, oh my gosh, it's called Single Payer. And we fell in love with it. That intro music happens every time we do our show. And Gina and I, when we're live in the studio, we are dancing around because we're not used to being on camera. So we dance to it, we get our energy from it, and then we slide right into the show. We just love it. And that's how we found it. And then our tech producer, Scott, looked for you for a while and now we finally found you. And so we are so glad to have you here with us. But let's start from the beginning. So how did you come to blend violin, hip hop, and social justice in your music? It's a powerful and unusual combination.
Yeah. Well, Erika, first, thank you so much. I'm really glad that y'all did find me. I love hearing that you've been playing the song for the show and pushing the message and that you enjoy it. That's what I wrote it for, recorded it for. So very happy to be here. So I grew up in San Francisco. I was born and raised there. My dad was a nurse. He was a nurse for like 38 years. And really, I would say helped influence and shape some of my political views, especially around the single payer healthcare system. But my parents are also musicians and actors and performers, and so I grew up, classically trained violinist. I grew up in the city, so I grew up around hip hop. Started rapping. I think I wrote my first rap when I was in 5th grade, which was actually in protest of the school banning a card game called Magic the Gathering, which I thought was for no good reason. And so we organized a protest and I wrote a rap about it. And Yeah, so it's been a long progression. But I live in Southern Oregon now and am lucky enough to be very good friends with some wonderful, amazing musicians who were like, "Hey, we like your music, like let's make a band and record some of this and write more songs uh and here we are."
It's interesting because we assumed up until we finally found you, you were Canadian, but we
Really?
assumed that from the lyrics of the song. So because you sing it as if it's already manifested, it's already happened.
Hmm.
So we were like, oh man, yeah, this Canadian, he's so down and we love it. And so we were totally surprised that you are an American living in a country without single payer. So your dad was a nurse. So I'm thinking you learned about single payer from your dad. Tell us more about the inspiration and knowledge that you put into this song, because this song is like everything we're trying to say and get across to people, like it saves money, it saves lives, it covers everything, it covers everybody. So, yeah, tell us more about how this particular song came to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got my degree, my college degree in political science. And so I was able to gain a lot of insights into, political workings and stuff through that. And yeah, I mean, growing up, my dad was always talking about how the healthcare system's messed up as someone working in there, trying to help people and being just constantly thwarted by insurance companies. And just being very adamant about, hey, healthcare is a right. Everybody gets sick, everybody gets injured at some point in their lives. At some point, every single person needs to utilize the system, and profit really just needs to be taken out of it. It's not something we shouldn't be profiting off of the illness and injury and suffering of people. It's because it's the leading cause of bankruptcy in our country, right? A lot of people don't realize that. Leading cause is medical debt. And one of the reasons for that is when you're sick, it's not a choice. You're not going to choose, well, maybe I won't sell my house and then I'll just die of this cancer and not get the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a choice for you or your loved ones. You say, I'm going to do everything I can. Your loved ones are going to say, I'm going to do everything we can. We're going to do everything we can to get you the treatment that you need and fix the issue. And so the fact that there is this huge profit driven industry around the suffering and the vulnerability of people, uh, at some of their lowest points is just morally objectionable. And in terms of why I frame it, why you thought I was Canadian, hey, like I sing like, hey, it's a thing, uh, is when I was thinking about the song, I was, thinking about all the frustrations with our healthcare system, and oh man, I wish we had this, and I wish we had this, uh, and in terms of that mindset thing, right, that you mentioned in the intro, it's like, okay, well, you have to believe it to realize it. You can't you can't achieve anything if you don't know what you're chasing. And so rather than I came from this creative space of, what would it be like if we did have this system in place? How good would it feel to know that if you get sick, you can get taken care of and you're not going to go bankrupt. If you get injured, you can get taken care of, you're not going to go bankrupt. And so that's really where that framing it as if we already have it. And it's funny because you dream big, right? And so when I was thinking of this song, I really was dreaming about how cool it would be to make a really high quality, high production music video of it, where we would have a famous comedic actor like Jack Black or Danny DeVito, and it would be their journey through the healthcare system. And, you know, it like the band would be in the ambulance with them, and we'd be in the rooms with them, and it's like this whole experience that's really just like wonderful, and they get the care, and at the end they would wake up from this dream, and they'd wake up in their hospital bed and they'd look at this bill that they owe, and it's all a dream, right? But just, yeah, dreaming about how wonderful it would be to have a system like that.
Okay, well, this is exciting because back in the day when I was an actor, I had an audition with I was with Jack Black.
Really?
And it was right before he really exploded on the scene. But I think I have some friends who are still in touch with him. So this dream, because I love this video, and we need more music videos about this. We need more songs about this. So yeah, let's see if we can make that happen. I feel that listening to you share, how this came about, and knowing, that you're not Canadian singing about something that's already happened, but that you actually are American, and putting that, power of the mind in action by singing as if it already happened. It just, I'm even more inspired by the song. So, that is really cool. And I agree with you. And I'm going to do more of that. I'm going to be like leaving this interview. I'm going to be thinking and talking as if, it's already happened. So it's a much more fun way to bring it in existence, because we've been fighting and fighting, as you know. And, yeah, it's tough to lose. It's really tough to lose all the time and get back up into the fight. And speaking of fight, I don't know if your dad is a member of the California Nurses Association, but
He
CNA,
absolutely was.
yes, he was. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, CNA has been bringing the bill for single payer in California for, 10 years now. And they have been leading this fight. So, wow, it's really all making sense. So when you're playing this song, like at a concert or a rally, what is your hope that people like take away or feel or do, after hearing this song?
Great question. So one of the reasons why I started trying to figure out how to make songs about politically relevant things with real data and facts is because I recognized, when I was in college and I was getting my degree in political science and I was doing community organizing, and it just really kind of hit home that most people just don't know. And part of why they don't know is a lot of times the information is dense, it's boring, it's framed in a way that's not relatable to folks. That's one of the things where I think Bernie Sanders, for example, has been so successful, is he's able to frame his message in a way that's relatable to people that they can resonate with. And so me being kind of dorky and like just a political wonk a little bit, I was like, okay, how can I get all of this information, the statistics and data, and package it in a way where it's fun to learn and digestible for people. Like one of the facts, and I wrote the song 8-9 years ago. Like, it was a long time. Another song I have on that same EP about raising the minimum wage, like, I wrote that song 10 years ago, 11 years ago. The federal minimum wage is still the same as it was back then. Pretty crazy, right? Like, I wrote these songs thinking, okay, eventually they wouldn't be relevant anymore. But unfortunately, they just seem to continue being relevant. But, like facts, like one of the arguments against single payer healthcare is that it's inefficient. You're like, oh, it's government, it's inefficient, it's cumbersome. It's like, okay, that's a good talking point. That sounds good. But what happens when you look into it and you follow the money? Well, actually, the government administered programs are significantly more efficient than the private insurance administered ones. And if you look at the money that's dedicated to administrative overhead, and granted, these numbers could be out of date, I haven't looked it up for years, but when I was writing the song, when you're looking at Medicare and Medicaid, an average of 3 cents of every dollar spent went towards administrative overhead. And then you looked at the private insurance companies, and anywhere from 18 to 30 cents of every dollar wasn't going to patient care. It wasn't going to hospitals. It wasn't paying doctors. It wasn't paying for medicine. It was paying administrators. And that doesn't even take into account the profit that they extract. So I was sitting there, I was like, why don't people know this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not easy to find. So I was like, how can I do it in a way that's digestible and it's easy to understand?
Oh my gosh. Well, you do such a good job at that. And, you've been singing my love language, but during this whole interview, you're speaking my love language. We're going to have you become a part of Healthcare for Us in California, because you are great at just putting it out there so simply. And I think that's one of the struggles we wrestle with a lot. How do we say it plainly? How do we say it just simply? And clearly a song is a good way to do that. And yeah, you're right. Bernie Sanders has done a very good job of that. If you are just tuning in to KPFK, you are listening to Healthcare for Us. We are talking with Tommy Letchworth, who is also known as the frontman Smiley T with the band The Tall Trees. And he created the theme song we have on our show titled Single Payer. And so that is what we are talking about. So, Tommy, so many artists and gig workers in our country are left behind by our current, I call it insurance system, because there's no health care in it. If we had a single payer healthcare system, how do you think it would change the game for independent musicians like yourself?
Well, I think so. It comes back to mindset for me in a lot of ways, in that most people who are uninsured or underinsured go through life, whether they admit it or not, with a little voice in the back of their head saying, I hope I don't get hurt. I hope I don't get injured. I hope I don't get sick. And they're not worried about the bodily harm. They're worried about the bill. Like how, there's that meme, right? I'll never financially recover from this, right? And so it's this layer of weight and pressure and fear that everybody lives with, where they're like, I can't afford to get sick. I can't afford to get injured. And the unfortunate reality is everybody gets sick and everybody gets injured at some point. And I know that personally, I work a lot better when I'm not weighed down with anxiety and fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one of the best, most tangible benefits for our population would be a mental health related one. It'd be psychological. It's like, hey, look, I'm taken care of. I know I have the safety net. I don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone can lead to so much more creativity, so much more productivity, so much better brain function overall, because you're not constantly in this state of survival and flight or fight and anxiety.
To that, I say amen and ashe. So I do have my wrap up 1 minute. So in 30 seconds, can you tell us what gives you hope right now, both as an artist and an activist?
Wow. Okay. 30 seconds. What gives me hope? To be frank, the thing that really gives me hope is that from all the time I've spent meeting people all kinds from all backgrounds, beliefs, religions, political affiliation. I've seen most people are good people. They're good people. They want the same things. They want security, economic security, prosperity. They want to be able to take care of their families, their friends. They care about their communities. They care about clean air and water. And the fact that we feel these strong political divisions, they exist and people disagree about how to achieve the things. But at the root, everybody really wants the same thing ultimately. And that's what gives me hope is that most people are good people. And if we really just recognize that and start talking with one another and communicating and finding our common humanity, then we can achieve some tremendous things.
Beautifully stated. And for our listeners who want to hear more of your work and follow your journey, where can they find you?
So great question. I can definitely do better about letting people find me. But if you look up Smiley T and the Tall Trees, word smiley, letter T, and the tall trees, you can find us on Instagram is probably the best place to see what we're doing. We have a Bandcamp, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we have some things going on. It's all bootstrapped and self-funded. I don't really know what I'm doing with technology, which is why it took you 3 years to find me. So sorry about that. I'll try to do better. But Smiley T and the Tall Trees on most platforms.
We love it. Thank you for being with us today, Tommy. All right, folks, we've got a couple of actions to let you know about. On our website, under the Take Action tab, you will find the People's Budget Survey. This was a survey created by Black Lives Matter Los Angeles to help your voice be counted in the shaping of a city budget that truly reflects the needs of our communities, which is healthcare, not cops. And also, we do have under our event calendar, there is still the ongoing action at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, fighting for trans rights. So check out our website, the letters HC, 4US.org. Again, that's HC, 4US.org. You'll find latest healthcare news articles, events, comedy clips, and all kinds of resources. Please also follow us on all the socials at HC, 4US_org. Want to thank Smiley T again for being our guest and for providing us for our amazing theme song. Thanks to our tech producer, Scott Peak, co-host Gina Viola, Sheila Bates, Taiji Miyagawa, Jackie Hernandez, Dennis Resendez, Paul Newman, Carol Fodera, and the entire team who makes this show possible. Healthcare for Us airs every Friday at 7:30 a.m. Next week, tune in to hear from your host, Taiji Miyagawa. And stay tuned for Democracy Now! And remember, single payer is the solution. Join the healthcare revolution.